Morning to all of you. Welcome back to the Namaste experience here at Namaste Village. Usually, when we begin our session, we share a prayer called the Prayer for the Awakened before we start the recording. But I decided that today we're going to have that be part of the recording, and you'll see why in just a little while. So let's go ahead and join together in this beautiful prayer, which we say with energy and enthusiasm. Here we go. My soul has but one goal, to awaken to the truth that is forever true. My heart has but one desire, to remember the passion of infinite bliss. My mind has but one focus, to embrace the reality that is forever real. I choose to awaken now to the infinite love that is my source. I give everything to this love, just as it has given everything to me. I am awake now, right now. So, in the spirit of the awakening, we're going to talk today about the dreamer and the dream, and how when we realize that everything that we are experiencing is a dream or a construct of the imagination to justify a simple idea, a single idea, that it's possible for me to be outside the love and the loving of love itself, that such a thing could ever be possible. We can realize, even intellectually, that I am one with God, that it's impossible to be outside that loving embrace. But to have a direct and whole experience of that, that's the reason we're here. To have a direct and whole experience that I am one with God. Just as today's lesson in A Course in Miracles says, God is but love, and therefore so am I. If God is but love, and therefore so am I, what can that mean other than I am one with love itself? I was talking yesterday to a few of my Franciscan brothers when we were driving. It's about a 2-hour drive from the retreat center to O'Hare in Chicago. And we were driving and we were in a big van and we were talking about God, of course, as we had for the whole week in different ways. And I said something to them which unsurprisingly, they understood. We were actually talking about Star Wars and Star Trek and different things like that and random. But I said, I have given up on the belief in a deity God. The idea that there is a God outside of me, that there is a God somewhere that is watching, judging, loving, whatever it might be. I've given up on such an idea. And you've all heard me say before that I don't believe in a God. What I believe in is only God. The closest thing that comes to this for me would be the Star Wars understanding of the Force, this force of unified consciousness, this eternal divine source of uncompromised love that is everywhere at once. And that's the key, everywhere at once, especially where you are right now as the dreamer of this dream. So today we're going to be looking at the awakening from the simple perspective that I am the dreamer of the dream. And the instant I realize that I am that dreamer, the alarm clock goes off and I can awaken. Now I can keep hitting that sleep button if I want. I did it a couple of times this morning, but the key now is to not hit that sleep button, realize that morning has broken. The daylight has appeared. The sun is everywhere around us. And it's time for us to get up, stretch, maybe splash some water in our face, get a cup of coffee if you want, and let's start living. So, that being said, before we bring Vicki and Penny on, I'm excited that we're all here together today. I want to share something. I've been working on some videos, as you know, and it's been shifting in different directions. But one of the things that I've been loving is to share sections of A Course in Miracles with these beautiful videos and with AI images. You know, it's interesting how AI mimics what we believe we see, right? So even in the beautiful meditation that we were just watching a moment ago before we began the recording, I was watching for very subtle little indications that that's an AI. Somehow the foot doesn't quite hit into the snow the way a normal foot would, or you can see the brush strokes not actually touch the sand. And these are just little tiny indications that that which seems real, that which appears to be reality, is a construct, is a projection of another reality that is whole and complete here and now. And it's the same for us here. It's kind of like in the movie The Matrix when it says, when there's a glitch in the matrix, this is how you can tell. And there is a glitch everywhere we look here if we would but have eyes to see it. The little things that show us this is not the real world. Beyond this world, there is a world that I want. Not only that I want, but that is mine, that is yours, that is for all of us. This is our home. But in order to realize that home, to awaken within that sacred chamber, we have to realize first that I am the dreamer of the dream. So that being said, I want to show you all a little video. So sit back and enjoy, and we will watch this together. Here we go.
Listen to me, and listen well. You are the dreamer of the world of dreams. No other cause it has, nor ever will. Nothing more fearful than an idle dream has terrified God's Son. You are the dreamer of the world of dreams. But now a light has come to awaken and to redeem. Now you remember that love alone is true, and the dream you took as real just falls away from you. So fearful is the dream, so seeming real, he could not waken to reality without the sweat of terror and a scream of mortal fear, unless a gentler dream preceded his awakening and allowed his calmer mind to welcome, not to fear. You are the dreamer of the world of dreams. But now a light has come to awaken and to redeem. God wills that you awaken gently and with joy. And God gives you the means to waken without fear. Accept the dream that he gave instead of yours. It is not difficult to change a dream once the dreamer has been recognized.
It is not difficult to end the dream once the dreamer has been recognized. What a simple and profound statement. Once you recognize and realize that you are the dreamer of this dream, the dream that you believe to be, that which you see. Once you realize that, it's not difficult to awaken. It's as easy as opening your eyes in the morning, but we have been locked in this pressure. It's like the dream is like a pressure cooker. We're always being cooked inside, and it feels like we're under such great strain and stress and pressure to stay in the world that we have created in our imagination. But what we're feeling now, what we're realizing now, is that the freedom that we experience when we let go of all the chains that have bound us to the limitations of the ego or split mind are so far beyond anything that we could ever imagine. We like to believe that this body, these other friends that I have, the things that seem to be happening to me and to them are real and true. And yet there is a reality and a truth beyond all of that, that we feel. I know that each one of us feels that. And that is the gentler dream that we heard Jesus talk about. That a gentler dream has replaced the dream of terror in order to ease us out. Because if we were just to go from one to the other, it would be too shocking of a difference. It would be too fearful, too crazy, to just and this is often what happens, and we hear this from certain awakened beings who, like my teacher, the master teacher, it happened so fast and without the context, without the support that we have here, that he literally tried to crawl underneath the wall-to-wall carpet. It was so frightening. But for each one of us, a gentler dream has come to replace the dream of terror, the dream of separation that we have engaged our minds in so completely. And that gentler dream is simply a joining and a decision, the decision that we make here and now, that we are going to hold hands with our brothers and sisters and step together into this state of oneness that we sometimes call heaven, state of being that we still call one. And so this is what we do here every day. This is why we join every day here at Namaste Village, to assist, to affirm, to join with my brothers and sisters in the awakening from a dream that never had the possibility of being real, but which I've made seem very real indeed. Just like an AI video that seems very real, but there are little subtle things within the video that if you catch them, and the same thing is here. Little subtle experiences that remind us that there is a world so whole, so joyous beyond this world, the world of separation and the split mind, that if I choose to right now, I can open my eyes and not only see, but recognize as my eternal home. So, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Victoria and hear what she has to say about the dreamer and the dream.
Well, thank you, Father James. It's really wonderful to have you back. And thank you for that beautiful video. That video is stunning. The music, the graphics, and the message. It's stunning. And it really wraps up. And that's what we do every day. We wrap it up into a simple understanding that, oh, the world I see has nothing, no meaning for me when I think I mean something, when I'm looking for something outside of me for happiness, to get, to do. And the simple answer is to stop where we are and not resist the images, but not pursue them. Not resist, not pursue, and say, oh, well, what is real? That moment of stepping back, what is real? If this is a dream, there's the glitch. If we do know something, we know there's a unity that comes from love. There's an experience of love, whether we felt it for a sunrise or a pet or a person, there's a common experience we know as love. And the glitch to love is anything that seems contrary to it: sickness, death, abuse, war. Those seem like the big glitches that would say this couldn't be so. But if I chase them or run from them, I'm perpetuating them. That's what happens in a dream. When we dream, if we try to go on further with the dream and look for solutions and try to figure out where to hide, where to run, what to do, we keep the dream going. And when we step back, and that's what we're doing now, into one reality, that love is not part, it couldn't be a dream, something about unity and love, but I don't know yet fully what that is. But I'm willing to find out. That's the first step. And we've been taking that together, of saying, all right, I won't resist and I won't pursue, and I'll open to a true something. Even what a true idea, what's a dream? A bunch of ideas that are rolling around in our minds, and none of them are so. And when we're the dreamer, we're not a victim of the world, of the climate, of the disease. We're not the victim of anything but our own ideas. Jesus says, the reason you can end sickness and death is because you made it up. How simple is that? Those are ideas that we made up. And then when we try to go and pursue them and fix them or run from them, we keep making them up. We keep saying, yes, they're true, instead of saying, oh, these are ideas I've had. These aren't good ideas. I don't want to keep these ideas. I'm going to hold to one idea. And maybe that's the idea of, I don't know, but I want to find out. I don't know. Show me. I don't know. But if I'm dreaming, I do not want to continue the dream, the error. If I'm dreaming, I'm not a victim anywhere, no matter what happens. If I'm the dreamer of the dream, then the ideas that are in my mind are playing out in front of me. So the solution is my mind. I'm not going to hold anymore to thoughts that are anything less than love, because I see that anything less than love is where the glitch is. Like you said in the Matrix, where's the glitch? Where's the glitch in the AI video where the foot doesn't quite fall into the sand? The place where there isn't love, where there seems to be hurt, sorrow, disaster, those are the glitches that tell us these are our own ideas. I don't want any of my own ideas anymore. That's a surrender Dorothy moment. I don't want any of these ideas anymore. So I'm just going to step back and do what I know to do and be: love. I'll just love. I'll just bless. I'll just look beyond the appearances that come from my ideas and my dreaming to a given reality. That's that flow of the reality of love. And I'll stay there. I'll go with that flow. I'll stay there and I'll let it, that current, take me, but I won't interfere with ideas anymore. I'll stay receptive by not making up more ideas, by stepping back and looking for the only experience. This is an experience that I know is true, and that's union and love.
Yes.
Thank you, Brother James. Thanks, everyone. I love you all.
Oh, thank you, Vicki. As always, what a team we are. We are the A team. We're the ones, all of us together, who are supporting one another in the awakening of this dream that never had hold on us except in our imagination. And boy, do we have good imaginations. So it has seemed very real indeed. So I'm going to turn it over to Penny Honey. I know Penny is getting ready closer and closer to when she is going to be moving out to actually not just be there on Zoom, but to be with us every day at Namaste Village. Penny, we're all so excited, and you take it from there, and then we're going to close with hope.
Thank you. Yeah, the countdown has begun, right? I'll be there July 14th on my 65th birthday. So I'll be celebrating in Namaste. There we go. I love it when I sneak up on myself. And that's what I believe happens when I become aware that I am the observer and that I am looking in on that dream that I'm having. Um, and we run up to that edge. I was thinking about what you were saying, James, about those images. I like that because I do the same thing when I'm watching something. I think, oh, I bet that's AI because you can see that little, right? And I'm thinking that those little moments, those little glitches, those are the breadcrumbs that we're leaving for ourselves to remind us that we're looking at a dream. We're observing our dream. And we get brought back into the awareness, what is, and that which is always present, the love that we actually are, and the call of who we're to be in this, in the reality of it. Now, some of those images, I've said this before, I like some of those images I've created. I love this idea of I'm packing boxes and I'm shipping them off to Mexico and I'm making this physical move in this physical world. But boy, am I seeing a lot of little AI glitches as I'm doing that. When you find out what it costs to ship things to Mexico, all of a sudden those things that were so important, this cup, this glass, this picture, this book, and all of a sudden you are holding the dream, the physical that you have created in the dream that you're living. And all of a sudden, when it's 300 bucks for 30 pounds, it is not near as important. And you love stepping back into the reality that you are not this body, you are not those books, you are not those things. It's a good reminder, right? I love when I sneak up on myself and I'm looking in. You talked about that pressure cooker, and where I'm from, we used a pressure cooker all the time because we canned everything that we ate, just about, right? There's a little valve on top of a pressure cooker, and it releases the pressure when the food is complete. My friends, each day we come here, we are releasing the valve. We are allowing ourselves to come into complete when we come together and we recognize the pressure we put on ourselves to live in this world. Oh, I'm an hour behind you guys, right? So it's not 9 o'clock here, it's 8 o'clock here, right? It's a shorter morning. And I notice that there's this rush sometimes, and I am putting pressure. But you know what? That's okay. Because I'm pressuring myself into being in a space that gives me the opportunity to release that. And that's what we do here. That's what we do here in the Namaste experience. We give ourselves the valve to release that pressure from.
Did we just lose her voice? Is it just okay? Penny, suddenly we can't hear you. I don't know why. Just a few seconds ago, your voice just disappeared. You are the dreamer of the dream. You can just shut it down like that. Try and unmute one more time and see if it comes back. No, I guess not. Interesting. Wow. Well, we heard exactly what we needed to hear. That's for darn sure. That was beautiful. And we're just so glad that you're getting everything ready to come and join us. And I think all of us in Mexico can relate to that feeling of do I ship this? Do I ship that? Boy, my gosh, it costs so much. Do I really need all of these things? I remember when I first moved there, I came with a car. I couldn't get another toothpick in that car and a big trailer that I was pulling in the back. And I came with all of my stuff. And as luck would have it, less than a year later, I was pulling all that stuff back up to Oregon again. And I didn't need any of it. And when I did come back a couple of years later, when we first initiated Namaste Village, I had next to nothing. And yet I had everything. And that's the key. We always have exactly everything that we need. There's nothing that is lacking, nothing that is left behind. When I show up and allow this gentler dream to take hold, that's what we're doing. So, Hope, I'm going to turn it over to you to wrap it up and take us home.
Yay. Okay. So I love knowing I'm a dreamer in a dream because then I know it's only all about love and nothing else. Also, I am consciousness as consciousness relating with thought. That's everything and everyone that arises in my perception. Every single thing that they say, it's all coming from me. So how can I be in any kind of condemnation of that? Everything that I seem to see, every reaction that people get when they react to me, if they react in a triggered way, what I know right away is I haven't been as gentle with myself as I could have been. And that gives me the opportunity right there to bring it to forgiveness so that I can receive the blessing. I can only receive the blessing from a brother to the extent that I would give a blessing. Okay. So if I would take anything that they say to be anything against me or any kind of condemnation or anything like that, anything other than love, then I'm not giving a blessing and I'm not receiving a blessing. Now, this could be someone that you're relating closely with, someone in passing, or someone even on the world stage. If we leave one brother out, then we feel as if we're out of the kingdom and we're not knowing that we are the dreamer. The dream then seems very real. When we get the perception that there's suffering or abuse anywhere in the world, and we believe that it's actually there, that we're not just projecting it right now, what takes place then is blame. The mind automatically looks for someone to blame for the bad things that we perceive in the world because we don't want to know that it's actually coming from our own mind. See, that the ego would keep that hidden in the subconscious mind so we don't know that even the war we perceive is coming from conflict within. When we're aware that we're actually the dreamer, we could take exactly what we perceive as it is and recognize that we have all the power because we're pure love. And it's just a matter of seeing that it's coming from us. And if that seems hard right away, just say, I'm willing. I would lean into it. I hope that what Hope is saying is actually true so that we can overcome this idea that we need suffering. I heard someone say the other day, and a lot of people believe it, is that as long as there's people, there's going to be war. Yeah, that of course is our making, right? Actually, there's people, and the people are meant to see that this is only an illusion. We only made it up, and we do that simply by accepting what's true, even if we don't know what's true. It's just as simply, I hope that what I perceive isn't actually here and I'm only making it up. So, hooray, everyone.
Thank you so much, Hope. We have hope. We have hope that this indeed is just something that we are dreaming into a seeming reality, but which could never be real because only that which is real is the reflection of the oneness that we share. And I love the fact that you are sometimes Penny sits in Calico's corner, sometimes you sit in Calico's corner, and you remind me a lot of Calico. You're the perfect person to sit there because she could trigger people because she was so uncompromising with this reality, with this truth. And for one who is still wanting to hit that snooze button, that's a trigger. But if we just keep that energy of love and our hearts wide open, then everything just flows naturally into that divine current that leads us straight to the ocean of grace itself. And to that we say, Amen, 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 y punto. Have an amazing day, everyone. We will see you again tomorrow. Namaste.